So before we talk about historiography, whatever that is, we have to ask ourselves, what is history? Well, it seems like there could be at least two main kinds of answers here. First, we could say, well, history is the perfect knowledge of the past. Like, here's ancient Rome, and as time goes on, it gets to me, and I can say, oh, I know what happened in ancient Rome because I just know it. That's just how it happened. I can have this perfect, clear view of how things used to be. Well, that's a little too simplistic. What if instead we considered the sources of our knowledge? Again, ancient Rome happened. That was the event. But there was this one guy who had a perspective on a single part of that ancient Roman scene, and then later on in history someone else said, you know what, I want to talk about a different perspective of that same historical event, and someone else said, I want to color the whole thing totally differently. That seems a little more complex, as if history were seen through the window of the different perspectives that we have. So, if we ask ourselves then, what is historiography? We would say the study of historical perspectives, not necessarily the historical events themselves. So if we go back to that timeline, there's that one event, and then here's at least three different perspectives. The historiographer would say, I want to ask myself about this perspective, not the event. I want to say, why do they focus on that one specific angle? And then later on in history, why do these other people tend to focus on this other angle? And then why do these other people later on in history focus on this other angle? Do the historiographers focus on the event? Well, maybe a little bit, but it's not the focus of their study. So, say I'm writing historiography, and I start writing this essay, and it's all about the event, it's all about how cool the old-time stuff is. No way, that's not historiography. But if I'm writing and I start thinking about the perspectives, I start thinking about the different views people have had on the event or the historical figure or whatever, and I start asking myself, why did people have these different interpretations? That is historiography.